Hello, 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 y'all. My name is Mike Cosentino. I'm the founder of Big Peach Running Company. I was out for a run this morning with some friends of mine, and we were talking about a really cool event that we have coming up, specifically on Labor Day. You've probably heard about it. Hopefully you're already signed up for it. Big Peach Sizzler this year, but a few weeks away, and we were talking on our own, like, you know what, this information, what we're just kind of talking about casually, is so good, we should share it. And now that's exactly what we're going to do. So some of the questions that we kind of batted around, we're going to give you the answers to, and I think you're going to enjoy some of my friends that you're going to get a chance to meet right now. First of all, Ty Reagan, who is a member of our team and is the director of our efforts with the Big Peach Sizzler, and is kind of the liaison between our organization, the race director and the race organizing committee, all those wonderful service providers who put together such a first-class event. He's kind of our expert on this, and so when we were talking about some things, I'm like, my goodness, Ty, why don't we go ahead and share this now as opposed to people having to figure it all out on their own on race day. So I think those of you that already signed up are going to appreciate this preview. For those of you that do not have epic plans, and I'm telling y'all, you need to have epic plans and be out of town not to be signed up for the race. So Ty, when we were talking, the first thing that I think is really cool is the history of this race. Why is the race called the Sizzler? And give us a little bit of history on it.
Well, definitely a good question there, because I think a lot of people think Big Peach Sizzler, they're thinking hot, going to be sizzling out there in the great ATL. But actually, Sizzler is really more of a play on how fast you're going to run this course. It is a very fast, great course, mostly downhill. A couple of, right at the beginning, probably the first third of the course, you might get one slight little bump that's going to maybe make you sizzle in that heat up there. But most of it's going to be a good, fast course. It's a great course to PR, and it is going to be one where hopefully you will have a great time running it and flying pretty fast through there.
All right, so obviously great information there. Great race. For those of you that have done it before, you don't need the teaser. For those of you that are thinking about it, we'll continue to tempt you. But in addition to the great race that it is, it's also, and a lot of people don't know this, for a great cause. For as long as Big Peach Running Company has been associated with it, we've worked with Miles For Cystic Fibrosis. And another good friend of mine who's here this morning is going to be able to give us some information. And Colin, I will tell you, a number of years ago, I didn't know anything about cystic fibrosis. And gosh, to watch you, in addition to others with Miles For Cystic Fibrosis that I've had the good fortune to get to know, man, there is just so much that we don't know, I think, in general. And even for me, thinking, gosh, I know more than what I did a few years ago, I bet I don't know half of it. If you don't mind, just kind of tell us a little bit why this is such a great cause, but to set it up properly, what is cystic fibrosis?
Well, cystic fibrosis is a progressive and ultimately fatal genetic disease for which there is no cure at the moment. It affects the cells that line your sinuses, your lungs, and your digestive tract, so that the mucus that is produced there, instead of being thin and lubricating to help things move through, is thick and sticky so that things get trapped. So your lungs fill up with mucus, making it very difficult to breathe, and is also subject to recurrent infections, which ultimately lead to irreparable lung damage. What Miles For Cystic Fibrosis does is it raises money for both the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, which is responsible for the funding into research for new drugs for CF, as well as the Reaching Out Foundation, which works through local hospitals to find families who are struggling to afford their medicine for CF and helps them get some funding for their medications.
So, Colin, thank you. I mean, that's awesome. I think genuinely, I admire you. And I will tell you, Colin's in both our Midtown and Decatur stores. So, as a colleague, he's not just someone who's going to bring amazing guest services to our organization, but truly going to inspire you. And I know that the Big Peach Sizzler and what we'll talk about over the next few weeks with both Colin and Ty, I'm going to give you more information. We'll continue to give you reasons to sign up. But it's really answers like that that make us feel really good about doing this every year. What you need to know for now is you can sign up between now and race day, $45. Any Big Peach Running Company location will get you signed up. Certainly do so on active.com, and then on race morning we will have registration for those of you that just aren't convinced quite yet, especially if you're already signed up. Check us out for the next couple of weeks. We'll continue to tease the course and other cool information about the race. So thanks for being with us this morning. We'll be back with you again next week.